The very first PRSA WisCOMsin Awards recognizing public relations and communications excellence throughout our state. I'm Kara Leiterman, the president of PRSA Northeast Wisconsin.
And I'm Megan Leatherman, president of PRSA Madison. Thank you so much for joining Kara and me today on the virtual red carpet. Last year, our two chapters, along with the Southeast Wisconsin chapter, partnered to create a Vistage-like program for board collaboration and providing more resources to our members, including programming and outreach and networking. And it's been largely successful. We're super proud of what we've been able to accomplish in such an unusual year or set of years. One of our goals was the creation of the first statewide PR awards program. It's a first for PRSA and it's a first for the state of Wisconsin, and here we are. So we're so excited to celebrate our dream becoming a reality with all of you. And hopefully next year we'll be cheering each other on together in person, but we do have Zoom, so thank goodness for that. And it won't stop us from having a really great time today. We'll begin by honoring those being recognized in the project-based categories. All entries in this category were judged by PR professionals in the PRSA Maryland chapter. We'll spotlight those organizations whose judges' scores merited an award of distinction or an award of excellence, which is the top honor in a category. After awards are announced and presented in each category, the award of excellence recipient will give a brief synopsis of his or her organization or team's winning project.
The second half of our ceremony will honor the winners in the Practitioner Awards category. We have 3 honors within that category: Young Professional of the Year, Communications Team of the Year, Communicator of the Year, and a panel of PR professionals from both PRSA Madison and PRSA Northeast Wisconsin reviewed all entries for each of these awards and then decided on the winners.
I know you're all on the edge of your seats, so let's start unveiling our first WisCOMsin Award winners.
Oh, here we go. Okay, in the category of content creation, we congratulate Jim Street of J Street Communications of Green Bay as the recipient of the Award of Distinction in this for its entry, UWGB STEM Innovation Center Feature Story. Yay, congratulations, Jim. And the winner for the Award of Excellence is the marketing team from the Fox Cities Performing Arts Center in Appleton for its entry 2019 to 2020 season at a glance. Congratulations. And here is Trisha Witt, the Director of Marketing and Communications at the PAC, to discuss her team's entry. Go ahead, Trisha.
Oh, thank you, Kara. Thank you, PRSA, for this award. Our season at a glance is something that we do every single year. It's sort of an annual report to the community, if you will, and it has 3 purposes every year, including this crazy last year that we've been in. But we try to capture impactful moments from the entire season, things that show what we're doing as a nonprofit with our mission in the community around us. We also use these pieces to, and there's a video and a printed piece, I should say, that go with this. We use these pieces to recognize and thank all of the partners that help make all of these programs and things possible throughout the year, because we can't do that without them. And we also want to share our mission in a way that is easily digestible for those who may not understand what our mission is and how we impact the community. So we have this great video that we've been doing for years now that helps it, piece it out in a very digestible way. So this year, of course, was extra challenging. So we started out our season with the Wisconsin premiere of Hamilton. We had, a packed house for 3 full weeks. It was amazing, thousands and thousands of people coming into the building, to then get to March, where our physical building completely shut down and we've had to figure out how to make our mission come to life virtually instead. So we had, of course, been spending some time throughout the season capturing things that had been happening, interviewing people already on all of the great stuff that the Fox Cities PAC was doing. And now it sort of came to this screeching halt and we had to figure out, now what do we do with this piece? How can we still use it? It's an important way to document our season, for better or for worse. So because the marketing team that works with me are so diligent and amazing at thinking out questions ahead of time, we were able to actually pull what we had already done and we had to change the whole feeling of the piece because the year ended completely differently than we had expected it to. But we were able to do that because of all the thought that went into this upfront. And then we were able to just sort of pivot that and make it a very emotional piece. We released this piece in the fall, which is when our normal season opens up. So for patrons and people watching and seeing this video and getting that printed piece in the mail at a time where they would normally be coming to see a performance and connecting with us was a really emotional thing, and it went over extremely well with people. We received direct donations on Facebook, and it turned into a fundraising tool for us. So it was amazing. So I want to thank my team, Katie Much and Kristen Schrader. We are small but mighty at the moment, as all performing arts centers know. We're all working with a very small staff, so they are incredible and just amazing to work with. So creative and fabulous, as well as the rest of the Fox Cities PAC team. So that small and mighty team working right now, everybody had a hand in what we did with this project. So thank you, Katie, Kristen, and the team, and thank you, PRSA.
Thanks so much, Tricia. In the category of crisis communications, we once again congratulate the marketing team from the Fox Cities Performing Arts Center as the winner of the Award of Excellence for its entry, the Act 2 Fund. Congratulations. Tricia, would you like to share a little bit about this work?
I would love to, Megan. So this, the last year has felt like a lot of crisis communication, especially 12 months ago. Everything we were doing and canceling and rescheduling shows, it was all crisis communication. And as this sort of unexpected intermission threw us for a complete loop, we thought it was going to be a few weeks long, and then that turned into a few months, and now it's turned into, it'll be, almost 18 months by the time we're able to reopen. So as we thought about what we needed to do as our earned revenue went away completely, we thought about what we needed to do at that year-end campaign time from Giving Tuesday through the end of the year. Every year we have a year-end giving campaign, but this year it had to be completely different. We didn't have that in-person element to it at all. And we've been successful with that in the past, but now we really had to pivot and think of how we could do this. So that Season at a Glance video, those pieces were certainly a part of this. And the entire team at the Fox Cities PAC pulled together to pull resources and brain power and pull this together. So we played on the sentiment that at that time of year, if you remember, I think every single one of us couldn't wait for 2020 to end. It was just time to be done. We needed 2021 and we needed to get past this pandemic and have some hope. So the theme for this was All I Want for 2021 Is. And the responses we got from people as we asked people to share all they want for 2021, they couldn't wait to sit in their favorite seat in the theater. They couldn't wait to get back to the lobby to hang out with their friends before a show. They couldn't wait to hear the fanfare play. That's that music that plays right before they're sending you to your seat because the magic is about to happen. These are the things that we heard from people, and it was so inspiring to them, but it was inspiring to us and the staff as well. It was great for morale for the active staff. It was great for the furloughed staff as well to see, wow, people are really excited. When we open up again, people are going to come back in droves and it's going to be amazing. And this was actually our biggest year-end fundraising campaign ever. So we more than doubled what we make in a normal year, which was phenomenal, having to do most of it virtually and direct mail and that kind of thing. So again, Katie Much and Kristen Schrader could not do any of this without you. You guys are just incredibly creative and talented. And also Emily Wisniewski, who is on our development team. She worked in close contact with Katie and Kristen on this project to make it amazing. So thank you to the amazing team. And again, thank you, Megan and Kara and the PRSA team.
Thank you, Tricia. And in the category of digital tactics, we congratulate, Erin, are we ready? Yeah. We congratulate Prevea Health in Green Bay as a recipient of the awarded distinction for its entry, Plug into Health with Prevea Health. And for the winner of the Award of Excellence is the American Family Enterprise IT Communications Team from American Family Insurance in Madison for its entry, Inside IT. Congratulations. And sorry, I need to scroll. And here is my favorite St. Norbert alum, Megan Leatherman, Strategic Communications Consultant from American Family Insurance, to highlight her team's entry.
Thanks so much, Kara. I honestly never thought I'd be advocating for a newsletter, much less winning an award for one. But what started as a fun experiment last summer has become a very strategic tool within our IT department. I'm super thankful to our leadership team under the direction of Peter Settle for his willingness and his team's willingness to try new things. It's now a very proven tactic for our 1,900 plus IT employees that span the country. And as the team continues to experience tremendous change while on a mission to revolutionize insurance in the insurance industry, it's been super fun to test new things and experiment with this group. The metrics are the proof in the pudding because people keep reading the newsletter. So it's great to get the recognition for the team and to try something new. So thank you.
I almost was on mute. I almost had somebody tell me you're on mute. Well, congratulations, Megan. And in the category of integrated marketing campaigns, we congratulate Destination Madison as the winner of the Award of Excellence for its entry, Shop Madison. Congratulations. And here is Kate Dale, Destination Madison's Vice President of Marketing and Brand Strategy, to discuss her team's entry. Kate?
Hello, thank you guys so much for this honor. I'm accepting on behalf of our entire team who worked their butts off on this campaign in a very, very short time frame back in the Q4 of 2020. This came out of a lot of conversations we had with various different partners within the Madison community, that there was a huge need how we can get people out and support our local businesses all year, particularly during this pandemic, but also especially during the holidays. So we had a very limited budget and, like I said, a very short timeline, but came together with a comprehensive campaign that was kicked off with a really well done PSA that ran across all of our media channels throughout the month of December. And then a lot of organic marketing and social media support. So really big applause to our entire team who came together to put this campaign off. Also, part of it was a pledge. So we put out a pledge to pledge.com to get people to pledge that they will shop local this holiday season or in the holiday season, and also how we can continue that campaign even into January, February, March. Local support was really needed throughout the pandemic, not just with shopping. So it was great that we've continued the Shop Madison campaign even out of the holiday season. The metrics, the reports that we got out of the campaign were awesome. Over 25,000 in earned media and over 50,000 in a social reach. So overall, with the campaign, how quickly it came together and the budget it was, we were really pleased with how well it was done. So thank you for awarding us this award.
Congratulations, Anna and team, or Kate and team. In the category of multimedia, we congratulate the PR, social, and content team from Hebing and Madison as the winner of the Award of Excellence in collaboration with the Wisconsin Department of Tourism for their entry, Slow TV. Congratulations. Here is Liesl Olson, supervisor on Hebing's PR, social, and content team, and former PRSA Madison president, to explain her team's entry. Liesl?
Hi guys, thanks Megan. I have butterflies just as if this were on a real stage, for what it's worth. This was definitely a labor and love. So if you guys can imagine back to the last couple of weeks of March last year, maybe early April, the world was upended, especially the world of tourism, where you literally weren't allowed to go anywhere. But we certainly still wanted to stay top of mind for people. So we did some collaborations, some brainstorming, and we knew we had this treasure trove of amazing from the air footage that we could tap into. So since productions were really hard to execute, since we wanted to stay top of mind, but welcome travelers back at a later time, and also provide just this sense of kind of calm and relaxation, that all kind of came together to form this Slow TV concept. So it's a series of 5 videos, each exploring a different theme for travel in Wisconsin. So you have one that's about coasts, and one that's about the Mississippi, one about the Northwoods, and so on. So it really achieved everything we wanted it to, just to keep our name out there. But then it was really a pleasant surprise to see this was actually picked up by the Wall Street Journal, along with a couple other states doing similar marketing initiatives. So it was a labor of love. It turned around very quickly, as a lot of things were happening around that same time last year. Definitely one of the favorite things we've all worked on in the past year. So thank you very much for this recognition. We really appreciate it.
Oh, congratulations, Liesl, and thank you for that great work. All right. In the category of PR and media relations tools, we congratulate the Nina Pairing of Jewelers Mutual Group and Element as the recipient of the awarded distinction for its entry media relations pitch for Jewelers Mutual, The Importance of Jewelry Insurance. Congratulations. And for the winner for the Award of Excellence in Green Bay, the tandem team of Prevea Health and the University of Wisconsin Green Bay for its entry, Press Conference, Governor Visits Prevea COVID-19 Vaccination Clinic at UW Green Bay. Congratulations. And here are Angela Dea, Media Relations Manager at Prevea Health, and Sue Badilli at the Director of Content and Media Relations at UW Green Bay to highlight their entry.
Thank you, Kara, and thank you, PRSA. On behalf of the PR teams from Prevea Health and UW Green Bay, we are extremely proud to accept this award today for our collaborative media relations work. We'd like to give you a little bit of background first about this project. The first COVID-19 vaccinations became available to Prevea Health in December of 2020 for frontline healthcare providers. And we knew it would be a matter of time before vaccines would become available to more in our communities. And so Prevea began work immediately on implementing plans for community vaccination clinics. About a month later, in January, we were ready to open the very first Prevea Community COVID-19 Vaccination Clinic on the campus of UW Green Bay. In just 1 week, Prevea and UW Green Bay worked together to go from an empty gymnasium to a fully functional clinic that can administer up to 10,000 vaccines per week. This was a huge milestone for our community, as it was one of the first mass vaccination sites to open since the start of the pandemic. So our role, the PR team here at Prevea and the PR team at UW Green Bay, was to help our organizations unveil this new and impressive site to our communities. We felt media relations would be one effective way to do this, so we worked very diligently together to plan and execute a press conference and a media tour event at the new clinic, which featured local and state dignitaries, including Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers. Now, this was the governor's first public appearance since the start of the pandemic. So there was a lot here, and there were some things that we needed to keep in mind from a PR perspective. First, we knew that we were going to be scrutinized closely if we created an event that wasn't perceived of following all guidelines related to COVID-19 safety. So we really went above and beyond in screening and taking temperature checks of anybody, whether it was a dignitary or a member of the media coming in to tour the clinic. We even had tape out to mark X's on the ground to make sure people stayed 6 feet apart. And we even held the press conference outside in the middle of January, just to ensure that our communities, we were doing everything we could to be safe amidst the pandemic. Another thing to keep in mind was that our PR teams were representing two very large organizations with strong leadership. We had to work very quickly and collaboratively to outline a plan, communicate it effectively, and ultimately execute. And I think we all know it's difficult to do that within the framework of our own teams and organizations. But the challenge grows when you have additional organizations like higher education systems and state governments with similar but slightly different agendas, kind of all working together. So I'd like to invite Sue Bodilli now from UW Green Bay to explain more about why we chose a press conference as our tactic. Sue?
Yep, thank you. So I have press conference and media tours to unveil the clinic. We saw this as a way to inform as many people as possible, not just locally, but statewide, about a couple of things. The existence of this new clinic and how it would operate, about the importance of becoming vaccinated, and of course about Prevea Health and UW Green Bay's commitment to helping fight the pandemic. But from the PR perspective, we also wanted to be very responsive to the needs of the media. And we knew following this event, they probably wouldn't be able to get into a health facility for, for B-roll and for their photos. So this was a great way for us to be able to get them what they needed to not only respond to the press conference that day, but also to have some of those things for future stories. Also, with the presence of the governor at our event, we wanted to emphasize the desperate need for increased vaccine supply from our state and federal governments, and we really think we were able to do that.
Thank you so much, Sue and Angela. What great work. In the category.
Sorry, I think we just were going to just mention a quick couple of thank yous, sure. Sue, if you could mention those thank yous.
Sure.
So sorry.
We want to acknowledge our team very quickly. Dana Germstad, our Director of Communications and Public Relations at Prevea. Angela Dea, Public Relations Manager at Prevea. Janet Bunkowski, our Executive Director of Marketing and Communication. And I am the Assistant Director. But thanks also to all our colleagues who supported us in bringing the press conference and media tour to life. There were so many who assisted us with things like technical support, facility support, and clinical support. And of course, our leaders at Prevea Health and UW Green Bay and leadership at Governor Tony Evers' office for providing us the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. Congratulations. In the category of public affairs and community education, we congratulate the Green Bay Area Public School District, the Howard Swamico School District, and Green Bay's Leonard and Finco Public Relations as the winners of the Award of Excellence for their entry Brown County Press Conference. Congratulations. Here is Kimberly Ullman, Communications Specialist with the Howard Swamico School District, to share insights on the collaborative entry.
Hello, everybody. On behalf of Kristen Rosick and Lori Blakesley of the Green Bay Area Public School District, Susan Finco and Scott Stein of Leonard and Finco, and Brian Nickel and myself, Kimberly Ullman of the Howard Swamico School District, we are so grateful to be recognized with this Award of Excellence for the Brown County Press Conference that we held on August 5th, 2020 at the historic City Stadium at Green Bay East High School. This event brought together superintendents from all Brown County school districts, the Catholic school system, Sybil Hop, local healthcare organizations, and business leaders. The purpose of this countywide press conference was to urge the community to follow the advice of local healthcare professionals in order to stop the spread of COVID-19 so that we could open schools in a safe way and on time. This began as a pie-in-the-sky idea during the weekly Brown County Superintendent's meeting as they prepared for the beginning of the school year and as COVID-19 cases were surging in Northeast Wisconsin. The press conference was covered by 8 media outlets. The advertising value equivalency for the media coverage was more than $23,000, and the coverage garnered was more than 2.2 million impressions. Through this press conference, our message of unity was shared and seen throughout Brown County. It was an absolute pleasure to work with Kristen and the Green Bay Area Public School District and Leonard and Finco on this project. It isn't every day that we can join forces for a greater cause, and we are so grateful for this recognition from PRSA and the WisCOMsin Awards.
Congratulations, Kimberly and Kristen and everybody. That was such a great news event. In the category of social media campaign ongoing, we congratulate CISA 6 from Oshkosh and Prevea Health as recipients of the Awards of Distinction. CISA 6 entry was CISA 6 #ShineOn social media campaign with support from Captive Media and Consulting. And for the Prevea Health entry was overcoming COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy and building confidence. And the winner for the Award of Excellence is Destination Madison for its entry, Explore Outdoor Madison. Congratulations. Here is Connie Burgermeister, Marketing Manager with Destination Madison, to discuss her team's entry.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, PRSA. We're so proud to be recognized for this award. Our Explore Outdoor Madison campaign was a summer-long promotion created to inspire, boost leisure travel, and assist with pandemic recovery. We wanted to show Madison as both an urban community and a place filled with outdoor activities and natural beauty for people to enjoy safely. The campaign centered around a series of 12 outdoor adventures, things like kayaking on our lakes, hiking in the Arboretum, or picnicking in our beautiful parks. And we used both professional photo, video, and first-person Instagram stories to show visitors exactly what they could expect here. It helped make them feel comfortable, informed, and confident to travel. Our results, it was a highly visual campaign, so great to see people out taking pictures, replicating the adventures we designed. We exceeded all of our goals and saw on social average engagement rates of nearly 6%, which was great. High click-through rates for both paid and organic, leading to nearly 30,000 web views, 200,000 video views. And for travelers, we saw nearly 400 hotel room nights and $238,000 in visitor spending, as well as record years for kayak rentals and bike rentals. And this was a very big all hands on deck project. So we want to give a big thank you to our whole team who helped out on this project, as well as our neighboring communities. And a thank you to the Department of Tourism for the grant that helped fund this program. Thank you.
And I apologize for saying Connie, Corinne. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I read it fast in my script.
Congratulations, Corinne and Destination Madison. In the category of special events, we congratulate 3 recipients for earning an award of distinction. The entry from the tandem of U.S. Venture of Appleton and Element was U.S. Venture Children's Week Reimagined in partnership with the Building for Kids, Appleton Parks and Recreation, and the Appleton YMCA. The entry from the Howard Suamico School District in collaboration with Gillespie Productions was Howard Suamico School District Commencement 2020. And the third is the entry from CISA 6 was CISA 6 COVID-19 School District Closure Crisis and Reopening Support Organization. Congratulations to all of you. And the winner for the Award of Excellence in the PR and Marketing team from WDS Construction of Beaver Dam for its entry 15-year anniversary. Congratulations. Here is Kim Bresser, PR Manager with WDS, to highlight her team's entry.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I've been a member of both PRSA Madison and PRSA Northeast Wisconsin, so I've seen a whole bunch of familiar names today, and it's just awesome to be with you virtually. But our event, WDS Construction is a general contractor, and we are celebrating, well, last year we celebrated our 15-year anniversary. And our goal with this was to recognize just a couple of groups of people who made this successful for us, for our company. Our employees, both our office employees and our field employees, our community that we are headquartered in, and our clients. We had to do a lot of work. And when I say we, I'm a department of one. So I used a lot of volunteers and my friends, you know, wink, wink, your friends at work. You give them tasks and just make an event happen. So we were pulling stats with accounting. We interviewed executive leadership team to really learn the story of our history and what set us apart. We worked with an agency to design a commemorative logo. We had a video created and captured throughout the day that we could share with our field employees, because we have superintendents across the country who are at our job sites. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to mention, we kicked off this event and we were going to have a big party at our corporate headquarters. And then the week after, Governor Evers' Safer at Home order went into play. So we had to rearrange our plans just a little bit. So what happened was we had an on-site event with just employees. We didn't invite clients. We didn't invite community leadership members, but it still was magical. It was awesome. All of our employees in the office participated in our picnic luncheon. Our video that we created for our remote employees, we have 30 remote employees. The video was viewed 26 times. We had a news release that was picked up locally. Paper and radio shared that story. We had celebratory gifts for our founders. We packaged, and when I say we, my friends at work who have children that were home and were sick of being home, they came to the office and helped me package over 400 gifts for clients and community members. They were a huge help in this project. So we had a great time. It was awesome. I'm so thankful for everyone in PRSA for recognizing all the work. I want to thank just a couple people, all of those students that came in and helped that summer. My mentors in PR, Janet Bonkowski and Erin Elliott. I've worked with you before on events, and I kept channeling my inner Janet and Erin as I was planning this event. And my husband will never know that I said thank you, but we have small children at home. And as those of you listening know, in PR, when you plan an event, it is late nights, it's long days. I was not home for a while, and he just was awesome. So if you know my husband, send him a text and tell him that I love him. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, Kim. Let's give everybody a big virtual round of applause for the inaugural WisCOMsin Awards Project Award recipients and nominees. A great job, everybody. Congratulations. And now we move on to the second half of our program. We are excited to reveal the winners of our practitioner awards in categories of Young Professional of the Year, Communications Team of the Year, and Communicator of the Year. These distinguished awards honor individuals and/or multiple practitioners for their all-around communications excellence during 2020. Written nominations were submitted for these awards, and the WisCOMsin Awards Selection Committee from our 2 PRSA chapters determined the recipients. Without further ado, we present the 2021 Young Professional of the Year Award to Allison Wadig, a marketing communications specialist from Culver's and Prairie du Sac since 2018. Congratulations. Megan Leatherman nominated Allison for the award, writing, "Allison is definitely a rising star in communications for Wisconsin. I believe there are more great results in her future with her innovative and creative and willingness to roll up her sleeves and get the work done." Congratulations, Allison. We welcome Allison to spend a few minutes giving us insights into her experience as a young professional in communications, her role with Culver's, and projects that she's been working on. Allison.
Well, thank you. It's really an honor and a privilege to be recognized as a young professional, especially during an unprecedented year like we all had. When I think about my career thus far, I definitely will look back and know that 2020 was really a defining moment of growth. I currently work at Culver Franchising Systems in Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin, and we are really the support center for our over 795 Culver's restaurants in 25 states. And you obviously, I hope, know us as Wisconsinites for our fresh frozen custard and delicious butter burgers. And as a marketing specialist in PR, I'm able to support our consumer and trade public relations, lead our local restaurant PR efforts, influencer marketing, our cause marketing efforts, which are better known as our Culver's Thank You Farmers project. In all of these, I'm supporting our local owner operators to tell their story, as well as help Culver's become a more recognizable brand. As 2020 really tested this, it was really exciting to be a young professional, because no matter where you were in your career, I think 2020 helped develop everybody's skills. There wasn't someone who had faced a global pandemic, injustice in America. It was just a wild year. And as a young professional, I really loved the opportunity to jump in and adapt for the better. Last March, as Culver's closed our dining rooms and drive-thrus became about 90% of our business, we had to create creative communications and safety standards that helped our guests know that it was safe to eat at Culver's, and that proved to be very valuable. As a young professional, I was able to jump in and be a part of our internal communications as we rolled out new system-wide initiatives to ensure that our guests were safe, and as well as our team members. But the pandemic also brought some new pivots, and one of the exciting things that was able to adapt was thinking back last March. If you may remember, your grocery store shelves were empty. And as things changed, we recognized that with our Thank You Farmers project, we needed to make sure that people understood where their food was coming from. And so this is a big project that I lead at Culver's, and it was a really wild time to be able to figure out, well, how do we tell this story and make sure that people understand where their food comes from? And within 2 weeks, we were able to readapt our programming and actually create a program that supported food pantries and our restaurants.
And it raised in about 1 week over $170,000. And we had a record-breaking year for our Thank You Farmers project, breaking $3 million in donations to local agricultural education. So this year definitely showcased the ability to jump in during these crazy moments and develop stronger communication platforms, but as well as sometimes adaptations can happen for the better. And as I think about this award, I would just like to say thank you to my team at Culver's and my mentors for helping me understand the value of these skill sets. I think Paul Pittis is on today. He actually was the director of communications at Culver's, retiring last year, and was one of the reasons I joined PRSA Madison. So a big thank you to him, as well as my team at Culver's. I believe Emily and Eric are here. They support my work there, and it's really great to be able to have support as a young professional to take these changes and adapt. And so if there are any young professionals out there, I would say congratulations for all the work that you're doing. And if there's anything I could leave you all with, it's really that as a young professional, the ability to connect with people is so important. And that's really why I value my relationship with PRSA Madison. A big shout out to Megan as the chapter president. I am a part of her board, and the ability to meet and connect with people are all really valuable, especially in a year like 2020 when we had to do it all virtually. So I would just say, if you're looking to get more involved in PRSA, you should do it. And just a big thank you to everyone for this award today.
Congratulations, Allison. And I think everyone knows why. Well, one, I get emotional and I'm so proud of you. And two, that you're on my board. I need a moment.
Thanks, Megan.
Congratulations. It's now our pleasure to introduce not one, but two award recipients from the same organization to share the Zoom spotlight in this segment. For the better part of 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic shook our communities, our states, our country, and our world in unimaginable ways. And Kara, you might need to take over here. Resulting in massive disruptions of one of our daily lives, and sadly, the loss of thousands in just Wisconsin. Kara.
Okay. Communication in an unimaginable time of crisis was more important than ever. To inform, to educate, to console, to calm, why am I getting upset too now, Meg? Oh my God, and to inspire audiences, internally as well as externally. A hardworking and resourceful and meticulous crew from the full team of heroes at Prevea Health, headquartered in Green Bay, just did that in the last few months. And from the onset of the devastating pandemic to the ongoing bright spots brought by the COVID vaccinations. And to present the Communications Team of the Year Award to Prevea Health. Congratulations. Are you good, Megan, or do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
And at the same time, we honor Dr. Ashok Rai, the president and CEO of Prevea Health, as the 2021 Communicator of the Year. Congratulations to the Prevea Health Communications team and to Dr. Rai, having earned the affectionate nickname of Dr. Fauci of Green Bay for his frequent and insightful contributions to local TV and other media regionally, as well as across the country. Award nominators Janet Bonkowski and Aaron Elliott touted Rai's influential presence on an almost daily basis, not only with the media, but also in his effective messaging through Prevea Health's multiple channels of communication. It's not an exaggeration when we say that the communication leadership he provides is quite literally a matter of life or death, Bonkowski and Elliott wrote. We welcome Dana Germstead, Director of Communications of Public Relations at Prevea, to provide a glimpse into her team's impact as communicators amid challenging times, and Dr. Rai will follow with his own insights. Welcome, Dana.
Thank you. So first, I just want to say really how cool it is for this team to win the communications. Okay, sorry, hopefully I don't start crying too. I mean, there's a little pattern going on here, but for this team to win this award, I know there's a lot of deserving teams out there that should win it, as evidenced by everything we've heard thus far. So our communications team works in healthcare, obviously, and we represent more than 80 Prevea health centers statewide and 6 HSHS Wisconsin hospitals between Eastern and Western Wisconsin. You know, as we've heard today, no one was escaped or unaffected by the COVID-19 pandemic. But in my opinion, the true heroes of fighting this pandemic were in healthcare, continue to be the doctors, nurses, respiratory therapists, environmental specialists, those performing COVID-19 testing and vaccinations, and the list goes on and would be endless. So what I'm really excited about today, though, is the recognition of our communications team. And I want to recognize each of them by name. So we have Angela Dea, Angela Raleigh, Ashley Knoll, Nate Garrett, Alyssa Van Dice, Dan Paulson, Karen Kraus, and then so many other members of the Prevea marketing department who helped us create and implement our efforts. Our communications team of 8 spans both sides of the state of Wisconsin and works as a larger part of our marketing department led by Rob Caribou, who is our Vice President of Marketing and Brand Strategy. So there's just a few things I want to quickly highlight about the past year. But first, you know, in our roles, we have always known our value, but what better test than a pandemic to truly show how important it is to have a communicator at the table. We're really fortunate that we've been allowed to develop based upon our talents. And in many ways, our communications team functions like a small newsroom. Several members of our team come from TV and newspaper backgrounds. And during a time where we could not have media in our hospitals or at our health centers, we generated news content ourselves, and we were able to do this successfully. When you have a videographer and former reporters on your team, this concept worked beautifully during a crisis. This team coordinated local and national media interviews over the past year and continued to enhance local media relationships. I will say that having national news calling, emailing, wanting a glimpse of what we were experiencing in Brown County is something that we'll remember forever. This team found themselves inside COVID-19 units and patient rooms as we worked to tell the stories of patients and frontline healthcare workers fighting the pandemic. These stories helped our organizations and local media to educate our communities about the devastating impact COVID was having on our region, with an ultimate goal of inspiring behavior change to stop and slow COVID down. This team created countless resources aimed at educating and informing the public about COVID-19, whether it was how to obtain a test, get the vaccine, teach them about quarantine versus isolation, things we would have never talked about before a year ago, but really and so much more, you know, doing this through dedicated websites, newsletters, podcasts, social media, videos, press releases, and so much more. This team also led a community public information officer group to inspire joint public messaging to help show the community that their local healthcare organizations and public health departments were working together to keep them safe and informed. And as a result, a really beautiful collaboration formed and all competition was put aside. And truly, this is probably one of the biggest silver linings for us in the pandemic. This was a group of communicators all in the same boat. And we did a lot of really great things over the past year, from joint messaging to media approaches and strategies, but sometimes just an ear to listen, as it was really an outlet for us. The value of this group can't be understated, and it truly highlights the value of working together. And our communications team really did so much more. These are just a few of the highlights, but when one thinks of a communications team, there are many things that come to mind, such as internal and external communications, PR, social media, videography, and more. But this team also did a great deal of troubleshooting in between, helping patients schedule a COVID test or vaccine because our phone numbers are on the website, taking calls, writing statements, and troubleshooting on weekends and after hours because that's what was needed during this pandemic. And at the same time, all of the members on this team had their own families to worry about and care for during such an uncertain time. Many of us moonlighting as school teachers and managing that chaos. So that is why really I'm just so proud of this team and all that we've accomplished the past year. So to close, I want to bring it back to having a seat at the table. And really a big thank you goes to the man that you're going to hear speak next, our Prevea Health President and CEO, Dr. Ashok Rai. He truly understands the value of having the public relations and communications team present and at the table. From the very beginning, he allowed me and members of our team into community COVID meetings, internal meetings, and more. And that has been just extremely valuable. So, but mostly our community is just really, really lucky to have him. He's a wealth of knowledge and he truly cares. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Rye.
Thank you, Dana, and thank you, Dana and Angela. You know, we really wouldn't be where we are in Brown County or probably across the state if it wasn't for this communication team. They really understated what they did. 24/7 is more like the hours they worked. They were in every meeting. I think probably one of the greatest things I could recommend any leader to do is to make sure your communications team is with you all the time. It prevents a lot of rework or me having to remember what I just said and to say, now go communicate this. And we also like to have a little bit of fun, and I have a little bit of fun on the screen. Angela, I did this just for you to drive you crazy. You have no idea how many times before a media broadcast that I get a text message, take the water bottle off the table. So I truly do love our team. You know, as physicians, we're not trained communicators like you all are. Knowing where to look on the TV screen or how to talk or, you know, how to turn on the mic, all that stuff, that's not part of who what we do. We are trained to communicate with patients. We are educators, and in a time of crisis, it's what we needed. We needed education, and I had the honor of being asked to educate our community. So when I got up there, I don't know how many hundreds of times between local and national media, it was all about education. It wasn't about, you know, getting our brand promoted. It wasn't about any one name. It really was about education to hopefully save lives. And, you know, hindsight's 2020. I wish we could have done a better job with 500,000 plus souls lost, but, you know, we did try our best, and we will continue to try our best in convincing everybody how we get to the end point through vaccination. So a lot more left to do. I think what I'm most proud of in the ability to communicate, which was unique in our relationship with WBAY here locally, and the hundreds of those broadcasts, is that if you go back and look, 50% of those broadcasts were viewer questions. They weren't your standard reporter question, your CNN clickbait, your Facebook, this is what they're saying, can you refute it? They were true people suffering, people scared, people that didn't know, people that were experiencing X, Y, or Z, and to be able to look into a camera and to address our patients, because we couldn't address our patients the way we normally would want to, was probably the greatest gift ever given to me by the media. The ability to communicate with our patients and to truly answer their questions. And I think that's what made things so unique for us, so unique for the opportunity I was given to represent all of my partners. You know, before I go on air, if there was a tough question, I would be talking to my ID partner or my intensivist partner that I work with on a daily basis to make sure that we were all talking with one voice. So it was a team effort. And to be honest with you, it's something that I never wanted to do, and I promise you I never want to do again. But, you know, for what social media has created the opportunity for in the world of negativity aimed at anybody who speaks on there, and, you know, talking about my family, posting pictures of my children, talking about physical disabilities that I may have when I appear on TV, all of that was worth it. All of that was worth it because we got to educate. So for those of you that worry about what you're going to put out there, if you have the right cause, if you have the right end game, there will be pain in this world of media that we've created, in the world of communication that we've created. But I can tell you it's worth it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rye, especially for having your communications team at the table and for those great insights, and for Dana for joining us this afternoon. Congratulations again on these deserving awards. And we thank everyone at Previa Health and all healthcare providers throughout Wisconsin for all you've done and continue to do to keep us healthy and safe.
Yes, and I agree with Megan. Thank you for everything. And Dr. Rye, we watched you all every morning on WBAY with my kiddos. So, and last but not least, we'd like to present the 2021 Communicator of the Year Award to Rob Gerd, the Director of Public Relations and Communications at Destination Madison. Congratulations, Rob. The COVID-19 pandemic created its own daunting challenges for Rob and his colleagues at Destination Madison, formerly known as the Greater Madison Convention Visitors Bureau. The award nominator, Megan Leatherman, credited Rob for leading a series of PR efforts by Destination Madison to address a sharp decline in visitor travel and spending in the Madison area, as well as social unrest in the capital city. His communications efforts raised Madison's profile and helped Destination Madison take a center stage locally and offered solutions to public emergencies and economic crises facing his community, Leatherman noted. Congratulations, Rob. And now we welcome Rob to share a few details about his work and collaboration with Destination Madison.
Thank you very, very much, Kara. And a big thank you to Megan for nominating me and for the kind words. Megan proves with this that a good communicator gets their audience to do what they want. She has been asking me to move up my presidency a few months so she can go on maternity leave. And so those kind words and this nomination mean a lot. And so, yes, Megan, you have my permission to have a baby and I will take over my role.
Thank you so much, Rob.
It worked. Also, a huge thank you to everyone at PRSA Madison and Northeast for this amazing honor. It's definitely not an individual honor. I share this with every single one of my Destination Madison team members on this call and not on this call. The branding team is just amazing. I could not ask for better people to work with. They worked hard to run with the ideas that I came up with in 2020, and I worked just as hard to run with their brilliant ideas. And together we created and crafted some great campaigns during a very difficult time. There's no one else I would ever want to have gone through this COVID situation with than this group. I call them the Sisterhood of Traveling Pelotoners. There's one other Y chromosomer in there, Jordan, but it's a fantastic group of women who are leading the way and also challenging me to some harder Peloton rides in the process. I was told I would have 5 to 10 minutes to chat, so I have a few minutes here. I have some written remarks actually I'm going to read from, and I can't see what you're doing, so if you want to text or email or make a sandwich or whatever, I won't know. I'll just make sure to raise my voice on a big note so you know that I'm wrapping up. I'm honored and humbled, honestly, to be associated with Dr. Rai and his hard work in 2020 and the work at Previa. While you were working to save lives, our team was working to save livelihoods. The hospitality industry was hit harder than any other industry in the world during COVID and is still being hit hard. In the US, our economic footprint shrank 42%, from $2.6 trillion to $1.5 trillion because of the loss of travel and hospitality. Hospitality jobs fell by 5.6 million people, and 65% of all American jobs lost in the pandemic were in the hospitality realm, and so were due to restaurants closing, attractions being closed, hotels not welcoming guests. Locally in Madison, we lost hundreds of events and festivals, hundreds of thousands of business travelers and leisure travelers that typically contribute more than $1.4 billion to our local economy didn't show up. They were staying safer at home. We had a huge hit on the things that we work on. 93 different events that we were involved with were canceled, and those events brought something around $55–60 million to the local economy, and we could not help facilitate that economic impact locally. It was hard, and early on, we realized we couldn't communicate our way out of this crisis, but we could find ways to communicate our way through it. For better or worse, fortuitously, however you want to put it, in January of last year, our organization approved a new crisis management process plan that I had created, a plan that was built out of a 6-lesson course that I took through PRSA National. I can't say enough about that training and how it played out into everything we did in 2020. It forced us to tap our brakes, to evaluate, prepare, and then find our way to communicate through COVID. It was an important touchstone whenever anything came up health-related or later in the summer social justice related, that we had to say, hey, how are we going to communicate to our stakeholders? Let's go through the process plan. It was just critical for everything we had to do. Our organizational focus, which is aimed at attracting people who live outside the Madison area to visit our community, turned inward. We knew we couldn't bring much outside visitor money into our community to help save jobs, but we could work diligently to keep local money here to help businesses stay afloat. You heard about a couple of those campaigns, Explore Outdoor Madison and Shop Madison campaigns. I can't say enough about the team and the Shop Madison campaign. They pulled that together, we pulled that together in 10 days. We're talking an entire social media platform and strategy. We're talking conceiving of, producing, and delivering to local TV stations a PSA. It was a top agency would have charged, I don't know how many tens of thousands of dollars to do that in that amount of time. And our team did it on top of our regular work. So I can't say enough how much pride I have in the team for that. We also created several other programs that took place. Early on, we created inspirational videos to share the stories of our hospitality community. We took to our social media channels to tell people, for people to share their love of Madison and how staying home and staying safe would support the work that we were doing and keep our community health solid during that difficult time. And we worked with our Essential Madison Experience partners to create some virtual offerings to send Madison outside of Dane County and to people around the country. We also had some fun with our efforts to draw attention to travel and tourism. Created a week-long live video chat called Between Two Flamingos, where I interviewed local and national guests about such hard-hitting travel subjects as takeout dumplings, enjoying Madison's lakes on giant duck-shaped rafts, and how many kitschy tiger figurines and art were in the Le Tigre dive bar in Madison. You always had to have some levity with all the seriousness that was facing us. Our organization's efforts also cemented us as key community and national leaders. I had the honor of serving on 2 national panels to talk about the impact of travel on mid-sized destinations. Locally, I brought together a group of key community leaders and communicators to help guide Madison's reputation management efforts during that difficult year. Throughout all of this, I have relied on what I have learned as a communicator, get to the essence of the message, and get to the call of action. I also have relied on the tactics I've learned and the relationships I've built through my involvement with PRSA. For those of you who might just be attending as guests and aren't PRSA members, it's an organization I can't say enough of. The national and sectional webinars last year and the group chats I was able to get in were invaluable resources for new approaches and for best practices and just ways to vent. It's an endless supply of communications tools and resources through PRSA. So again, I am honored with this award. It means a lot to me personally. It means even more, now Megan and Kara, I'm going to start getting teary-eyed here. It means even more that I had this team that I'm representing that has earned this award as well. So thank you very much for this amazing honor.
Thanks so much, Rob. Congratulations, very well deserved. And I'm very thankful for your leadership and friendship. Congratulations again to all our winners. We will be in touch this week to make arrangements for delivery of your trophies and certificates. As we wrap up today's program, we must acknowledge the folks who made this first ever program come to life. Our steering committee, comprised of Aaron Elliott, Rob Gard, Todd McMahon, Janet Masters, and Aaron Johansson, really were essential to making this a reality. So thank you all for your hard work and for your vision. Our judges in the PRSA Maryland chapter for judging our inaugural program, and to each of you for submitting your great work. We're grateful to all of you and look forward to doing this again in 2022. You're on mute.
I'm on
Kara.
mute. My husband, in full truth, my husband was vacuuming. A big thank you to all of you for joining us at this for our first virtual awards ceremony today. We know many of you were here to support your colleagues, which is such a cornerstone of PRSA, and we exist to support the profession and the professional. And if you are already not a member of the organization or your local chapter, please consider joining us. There are so many benefits and so many ways to get involved. In fact, before we let you go back to your day, Megan and I will give you a heads up on a couple of events coming up. Join us on May 11th. The PRSA Northeast Wisconsin chapter is hosting an event with Brown County United Way, and we're going to hear all about the 21-week equity challenge, how diversity, equity, and inclusion should be important to us personally and professionally. And the event is on our website.
And on May 12th, PRSA Madison is hosting NBC 15 for a look inside the newsroom in our crisis-driven world. You may also find information and how to register on PRSA Madison's website. So we hope to see you virtually at those events. PRSA Madison is also looking to host our first in-person event in well more than a year in July. So watch our website and social channels for details on that.
Well, thank you, everybody. We'll let you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
Congratulations to everyone.
Bye.